From the elusive Jack the Ripper to the manipulative Ted Bundy and the gruesome Jeffrey Dahmer, history is filled with chilling tales of serial killers. These individuals have committed some of the most horrifying crimes imaginable, leaving a lasting impact on society. Today, we will delve into the dark world of 10 infamous serial killers throughout history. Leave a comment below on which serial killer you find the most intriguing, or if there are any other dark historical figures you'd like us to cover. Welcome back to our channel. A serial killer is a person who commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive, and typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. Throughout history, these killers have left a trail of fear and fascination, influencing media, psychology, and criminal investigations. Profile 1. Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper terrorized the Whitechapel district of London in 1888. Known for the brutal nature of his crimes, he targeted female prostitutes, mutilating their bodies in a distinctive manner. Despite numerous investigations, his identity remains unknown, making him one of the most infamous and mysterious serial killers in history. Profile 2. H. Holmes. H. Holmes, often referred to as America's first serial killer, operated during the late 19th century. He constructed a murder castle in Chicago, complete with hidden rooms and traps designed to kill. Holmes confessed to 27 murders, but the actual number of his victims could be much higher. His cunning and cruelty have cemented his place in criminal history. Profile 3. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was a charismatic and handsome serial killer who operated in the 1970s. He used his charm to lure young women before brutally murdering them. Bundy confessed to 30 homicides, although the true number of victims is unknown. His trial was one of the first to be nationally televised, capturing the public's morbid fascination. Profile 4. Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, committed his crimes between 1978 and 1991. Dahmer's acts included rape, murder, and dismemberment of 17 men and boys. His disturbing actions, including cannibalism and necrophilia, shocked the world. Dahmer was eventually caught and sentenced to life in prison, where he was killed by a fellow inmate. Profile 5. Aileen Wuornos. Aileen Wuornos was a female serial killer who murdered 7 men in Florida between 1989 and 1990. She claimed that her victims had either raped or attempted to rape her while she was working as a prostitute. Wuornos's life and crimes were the subject of significant media attention and were later portrayed in the film Monster. She was executed by lethal injection in 2002. Profile 6. John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy, also known as the Killer Clown, assaulted and murdered at least 33 young men and boys in the 1970s. Gacy often lured his victims to his home with the promise of work or money. He buried many of his victims in the crawl space of his house. Gacy's horrifying double life as a respected community member and a ruthless killer stunned the nation. Profile 7. Ed Gein. Ed Gein's gruesome crimes in the 1950s included the murder of 2 women and numerous grave robberies. Gein made trophies and keepsakes from the bones and skin of corpses. His macabre actions inspired several fictional characters, including Norman Bates from Psycho and Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Gein was declared insane and spent the rest of his life in a mental institution. Profile 8. Richard Ramirez. Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, terrorized California in the mid-1980s. He committed a series of home invasion murders, characterized by extreme violence and satanic rituals. Ramirez was convicted of 13 counts of murder and numerous other felonies. His disturbing crimes and courtroom antics made him a notorious figure. Profile 9. Albert Fish. Albert Fish, also known as the Gray Man, was a child rapist and cannibal who claimed to have murdered several children in the early 20th century. Fish's letters to the families of his victims detailing his crimes were particularly shocking. He was eventually caught and executed in the electric chair in 1936. Profile 10. Gary Ridgway. Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, was convicted of 49 murders, but confessed to killing killing as many as 71 women. Ridgway targeted vulnerable women, often runaways or prostitutes, in the Seattle area during the 1980s and 1990s. He evaded capture for nearly 2 decades before being apprehended in 2001 through DNA evidence. These 10 serial killers have left an indelible mark on history through their horrific crimes. Their actions have sparked fear, fascination, and a deeper understanding of the darkest corners of the human psyche. The stories of these infamous individuals continue to remind us of the thin line between the ordinary and the monstrous. Subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history, crime, and mystery. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with others.